Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm presenting Module 15 project covering DevOps, research, performance analysis, and automated testing. This project had three main components: researching DevOps certifications, analyzing our CodeBloggs application performance using Google Lighthouse, and creating automated tests with Selenium IDE. All of these requirements will be provided soon. So let's first start with the AWS research information. Let's move into that piece. So this is our first analysis, right? For the AWS research component, I analyzed three major DevOps certification paths. First, the AWS certification, focusing on CI/CD pipelines and infrastructure as a code. AWS commands 32% of the cloud market today, give it or take, making this the most in-demand certification right now. Second is Microsoft Azure's DevOps Engineer Expert, which is crucial for enterprise environments where Azure dominates. And third is Google Cloud's Professional DevOps Engineer, which emphasizes site reliability, engineering, and cutting-edge practices. My research concludes that multi-cloud expertise is needed today in today's market to give you a competitive advantage. However, that doesn't mean you're gonna get the best and the brightest job, but it gives you an advantage. So that's definitely a plus and a must-have if you want to stay within that job market. That is what you're aiming to. I also compare AWS CLI versus the console, finding that professionals should learn with the console but automate with the CLI for production deployments. I am a big fan of the CLI personally. I've been using it since the earliest 2010, 2013. And it's just, it's handy and it's easy to automate, it's easy to create tasks. And okay, so that's one part of the project, and then we're gonna get into the Lighthouse analysis in a little bit. So for the Lighthouse score, it's I chose CodeBloggs versus Medium.com. That's a site that I usually I'm subscribed to, and I usually sometimes, not all the time, but I do submit some white papers that I author myself. So that aside, for the performance analysis, I use Google Lighthouse to audit CodeBloggs across there are four key metrics here: performance, accessibility, best practices, and CEO. But here's what made this interesting, right? I didn't just test our application, I compared it head to head against Medium.com. And again, that's a site that I personally like it, which serves over, I believe, give it or take 100 million monthly users. This gave us a real world context for our scores. And the results, as you can see, are very relevant. CodeBlogg score in performance 57 out of 100. Accessibility 89, best practices 96, which is very excellent, right? And CEO 82. And Medium.com, the score is performance 47, 57, varying by page. That's it's a give it or take. Accessibility is 89 to 90, and best practices 73. CEO was 45 to 100, intentionally low on signing in, high on home, right? So if you look at this page, right, the overall CodeBloggs beat Medium.com with an average score of 81 versus 71, 75. So it's good to emphasize our application outperforms an industry-leading platform serving millions of users. So the biggest win is, probably best practices. We scored 96 versus median 73. That's a, give it a take, 23 points advantage. This demonstrates superior code quality in probably not technical devs and some modern development practices. So this validates our strategy. Some improvement. We identify some clear paths to improve, with just 30 minutes of work. That can be improved, and so best practice is an advantage. Again, CodeBloggs. So why we win, and again, professional development standard. And then the next is we're gonna cover the Selenium test, sorry, and that's here as well. We'll go over the folder structure for Selenium and our Lighthouse for CodeBloggs, and that's our homepage, and everything's being recorded accordingly, following the requirement document. Let's close this one because we don't need it, and so we don't need this one either. So the homepage has all the registered page in the scores.json and the improvement.summary file that has let's open that up. That's our improvement file, and has the analysis, the score across all the pages, and the expectations, and so on and so forth. So that's our Lighthouse. And we did it for the homepage, for the login page as well. Follow exactly the same pattern, the same approach, and that's our external website. That's the homepage for Medium homepage. The same. You have the report, and then you have the the login page for Medium as well, and the homepage comparison report, .md file. So that contains the actual summary. And so you can see all of them are readables, and they're all in our GitHub. So let's do the Selenium now. Again, Selenium was part of that testing. Right, so that's our Selenium testing that covers the following. This test covers navigation between pages, form filling and submission, input validation, responsive design across mobile, tablet, and desktop, and common user workflows like logging, creating posts, and liking content. The value is this test reduced manual testing time by 85%. So the test suite is production ready and can integrate directly into a CI/CD pipeline, like GitHub Actions or Jenkins. I used to use Jenkins in my previous engagement a lot to do this type of testing. So we done some again, technical validation is the same, follows the same structure, right? The Selenium testing, we had the CodeBlog test suite, and that's our test suite, and then we have a Selenium test guide, where we put all the guides of all the different tests, meeting all the requirements, the minimum 6 requirements that we have. So that's been covered again. So let's, our validation, CodeBloggs outperform industry leader, modern architecture delivers results, professional grade deliverables, production ready, test suite. So I think that's cover everything. Thank you very much, and if you have any question, you can either send me an email or post to my YouTube channel, and the branch is development, and after this I will be merging with main. And again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next module. Have a fantastic day or fantastic weekend. Bye. Okay, here's the Selenium, the CodeBlog test suite. We have the navigation, browse multiple pages, form filling, user registration, form filling, user logins, required fields, email format, desktop to mobile view, login workflow, and like a post, create a blog post, and search users. We're gonna run one of them live, and hopefully everything's gonna work well in a moment.